guys. I know I'm a little late. Really? Sorry. I just noticed the space on my phone, which means I gotta clear it. So, but anyways, I'm doing the love reading yearly forecast for 2020. This is kind of like the reading I have promoted for the 1 year, but this is all directed towards love. So what we're gonna do is the center alignment of what you're bringing in right now, what's coming in, so like what's clearing out and what's coming in that process, and then it's like we'll do every quarter of the year, like the elements I like to call them. I hope you guys are doing well. I know a lot of you are going through some intense energies and some major tower moments. I will be the first one to attest to that. So yes, and then I was supposed to do this reading a little bit ago. I did get called to be pulled back because a lot of the feminine energies were now just focusing on the outcome, and that's not what the whole point of the journey is, and that's what the whole point of the lessons were. So universe said pull it back. So if you notice, a lot of people that like haven't been pushed up, putting up super romantic readings, there's been some people who haven't been doing that, and there's a reason for it. All right, this is about you. This isn't about anyone else, but your alignment about your love for yourself will show us what you're attracting and what needs to be cleared. Well, it's beautiful. It means we're attracting a healthy foundation. You have the 4 of rods, wands, whatever you want to call them, magic sticks. Before I forget, this is the new Vision Tarot by La Scarabra. I always pronounce her name wrong. Yeah, from Italy. Let's see. Let's do your center alignment for the collective. This is for feminine or masculine energy, so take what resonates. It's just you as a person reading this or listening to this. Center alignment. Wanted to come out. Okay. Well, I say it's very suited. This is going to be your center alignment. This is going to be right next to it, as in the things that come around you. So, 10 of Swords. It's been a brutal, hell of a battle. And what's coming in is a new beginning. There's been so many tower moments. I can't help but laugh because of my own experience with this. There's been so many tower moments. Throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, root, sacral. Just funny enough, it's everything but the major divine connection to source, which is beautiful. It means even throughout all this trauma, these experiences, this tragedies, endings, and these situations, money, love, doesn't matter, all of it that you've been through, it has not affected your faith, which is good, because that means there's something Sal said a while ago, and it's something that's very it's something to take in. The only time you should ever worry is when you question your faith, and that's faith within yourself and faith within your connection to God, source, universe, whoever you connect with. So you can see that in the cards. Every chakra, which means there's been chapters throughout each part of your emotional state, physical state, and relationship state, and career states that have been affected. But accept the divine source connection. It's very interesting. What this means is that peace after the storm is what I feel, as well as calm before the storm. So everything was great, and then something happened, and this is what starts your journey and your new beginning, which means that you seem to be interested in someone, and all of a sudden you saw the other side to them, and now you want to see how you feel about continuing this relationship, or giving it another shot, or putting an end to it because it's something not to your standards. That's going to be straight intuition based. Some of you may have also, we're going great, good, decent relationship, then bam, broke up, and now you're on this new path and finding a new person. There's a few scenarios coming out. But what I feel is that the ending is complete, whatever that chapter was, whether you're together or still not together with this person, with these people. and you're on a new chapter. So what else is coming towards you? This is, and this energy, obviously, we're not straight to the 31st. It's too many. And it's not straight to the 31st. This is obviously for the first quarter of alignment, I would say, because time is an illusion. Energy is fluid. So, because of that, the beginning of the year is that relevant first quarter of the year. Let's see, you have Page of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. Gathering information, listening to source, listening to spirit, listening to your closest people you can trust. And you have the Three of Cups, by the way, too. I forgot to mention that one. Listening to your friends, family, source, divine angels. The listening to your heart is also what I'm hearing, too. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to love, when it comes to reviewing the past. Remember, we're not being in the past just year, but we're past 10 years. You know, this is something that people tend to overlook, and this is why it's being emphasized through social media now. As you know, that stupid 10-year challenge, so goofy. But it has some truth to it. Look over the past 10 years. What has happened in relationships? And I can reflect to my own personal thing with relationships. I remember 10 years ago, I was in one, and then I got into another one right after. And then I ended one halfway through the decade. And so there's just a lot. You can see these patterns, just overview what has happened and what did you learn out of each lesson when it came to love and what experiences. And it kind of helps you clarify what it is you truly want. You know, and that's going, this is not just spying, this is gathering information. And with that, with the Nine of Pentacles, I feel it's gathering information from yourself and kind of overviewing. Sorry, I have a ringing in my ear usually, it's downloads, but kind of overviewing what you want in life. And see, look at that, I didn't even look until now, Hermit. Overviewing everything that you would actually want. What has helped you? What has stagnated you? What did you like? What did you love? What hindered you? What made you question your self-esteem? Obviously, that would be not coming in. And you get this knowledge. And as you get this knowledge, you begin to shed old skin. Snake is very prominent in this one. You will begin to shed that old skin, and that puts you in such a vulnerable state right now, which is why people are freaking out and purging and crying out of nowhere and feel so lost. Is because they're now in a very vulnerable state, and that's the snake. If once they actually take out their get out of their old skin, they are extremely vulnerable. And it's having to trust that faith in yourself and in the universe that you're going to be okay. But it's also having to build that trust that you're also going to be okay with other people, and that's trusting your intuition above all. So there's a lot of trust issues I feel that had come about, and now we're learning, especially when we have Page of Swords, not only is that gathering information for yourself, but that's also knowing that, you know what, I do have trust issues. I can't trust what this person's saying. I got to go beyond and see to make sure, tarot readings, online searching, I got to make sure what they say is true. So, and this could be for people newly dating. This could be for people who've been dating for a while, discovered something that was just not, that shook up your world. I'm talking a big tower moment about them. And then it kind of, well, what can I trust about them now? And so that's turning into a page. So, and what I see is you guys grabbing that Ace of Cups here. I see you guys grabbing that Ace of Cups. Time to pick your harvest. You know what you want. You know what it feels like because you're imagining it. You're using a law of attraction, and now you have this epiphany moment like, oh my God, I want someone who's stable and who can love themselves and love me, who can challenge me and yet inspire me with that challenge instead of hindering me. Just having those thoughts and stuff, it brings you your Ace of Cup moment, and you take that because you have it within yourself already and you get it offered to you. and that's taking the harvest. And that's what I feel is coming through for you. New beginning, new relationships, a new level of relationships if you're already in one, individuality within a relationship. Maybe you guys are so clingy to each other that people probably like, you can't, maybe in this case, this is what I want to say. Maybe you guys were always together to the point where you became one, and not necessarily in the highest vibrational way, but you guys are always next to each other. Now you're in a new level of intimacy where you trust each other to be a part. I don't know if someone had to hear that. So now this was what's coming in and what you're bringing in and what needs to change. And what needs to change is an energy healing. Definitely all the chakras are here except for third eye and crown. Even the sub chakras are even targeted. Mainly, primarily, I do see root, sacral, and solar. So the masculine energy. So if you're a masculine energy, or you're now, and this is why most feminines are now dipping into their masculine energies without knowing, and it's struggling. It's like watching a new baby walk, you know, it's a struggle, and they're needing guidance in this. And that's where the Fool also will come in, is looking for spiritual guidance, whether that's through like intuitive coaching, healing like Reiki, or even tarot readings, whatever suits your needs, you know. But let's go ahead. Some of you, it's really primarily being open to receive, because I'm feeling so much heart palpitations here. It's expansion of the heart. And I'm wearing green, I just noticed. It's expansion of the heart. And so a lot of you, I feel, are learning to do that. And it's opening, and it feels very nervous. Or some of you also have some trust issues around opening your heart again due to previous intentions that were chapters that happened to you. And that's building up trust again with others. Okay, we're going to do the quarter year now, so go. It's going to be 4 per few months. So 4 for January, 4 for January through like April, and then you guys get the gist. All right. So I'm going to show them as I talk. I'll say them right now, but I'll show them as I talk. So already in the first half of the year, you have the Strength card, the King of Wands, the 7 of Cups, the Hierophant, 8 of Swords, 8 of Pentacles. It must be a Patience energy in here too. 8 of Wands, the Empress, and Judgment. And then finishing off the later year, entering that, which is interesting. So there's something you go through, and then you go through a rebirth. And you go through that rebirth, you go to renewal, and you enter in this last part of the year in a romance. Beautiful. Oh my goodness, there's some heart chakras. I'm just like, just the start of this reading, it's interesting. I feel like some of you are excited, like, what's going on? What do you get? What do we get? All right, how are we ending this year? Okay. King of Swords on the bottom of the deck as well. Let's start with the first part of the year. So like I said, you have the Strength card, King of Wands, 7 of Cups, and the Hierophant. Swing all that so you see it. Woo. Okay. Now, what's interesting is that, interesting enough, I moved the King of Wands. They all moved. Oh, well, let's go with it. So immediately in the beginning of the year, there is someone who is very passionate, an entrepreneur, or someone very high up in their business, CEO, corporation, someone who is very masculine energy. It could be male or female, it doesn't matter, but very masculine energy, who could be more of a fire sign, but also could be a, I want to say stubborn sign. What's those? Isn't that cardinals? Mutable, fixed. There you go. A fixed sign, someone who's stubborn. And this is for some people who are already in a relationship, and They are feeling, they start this relationship, and right away I feel like it starts off well, and then eventually it gets halted, like the energy gets halted, and it's because of someone's self-esteem, because down the bottom here is the Eight of Swords, followed by the Eight of Wands, the Empress, and the Judgment card. What I feel is someone here, and maybe the masculine self-esteem gets to them, or their paranoia. So let's say you did the work, but they're probably just newly awakened, and now they're kind of paranoid due to a previous relationship that has haunted them. And so that's them having to get the strength to endure, and you as well, because they kind of, I don't necessarily say take it out on you, but you will experience their paranoia through your relationship, and everything is fine, but then all of a sudden it's just like something just happened, and they get cold and they get distant, and you're like, what the hell just happened? And it's because whatever trauma they've experienced in that last relationship, they're clearing out. The first quarter of the year, you guys, I will honestly say, it doesn't surprise me seeing this kind of stuff, because you will still be in the new year energy. So what comes out has got to come out, okay? The more intense energy like that you feel, like those heart palpitations, the closer you are to getting to one of those big tower moments. And so for them, they hit a tower moment towards the beginning of the year. So I'm hearing February and then January, but February is a very prominent energy. Woo, that heart, my God. So whoever's here got really hurt. Someone could have got hurt by the mother of their children, if they have children. Someone could have got hurt from someone that does remind them of their mother, or someone they were engaged to or even married to, or in a long-term commitment from. And this is something that they have to heal, or this could be you. This is something that you still have to heal. This is something you're working on. And that paranoia kind of builds into this new relationship, and it comes out. Remember, on the bottom of the deck, we have the foundation card. So if you have a shitty foundation, you cannot build so you cannot have a stable foundation. So those stuff have to be teared out so you can actually have a proper foundation. We also have here, that's in the beginning of the year, and then the Judgment means there's a renewal, a restoration, the truth, a rebirth. Something that comes out, communication coming in properly, exchanging and going out, there's an announcement, and that could be a new start to this relationship. A new relationship is now solidified, a commitment, more loyalty. That is what we have here. In the other side, later in the year, it starts off with the Page of Swords, Ace of Swords, which is clarity, which is truth. And it's funny enough because this shows a halt. It's like, whoa, like he's stopping in the horse. I can't see it. He's stopping in the horse, and it's like, whoa, Nelly. He's stopping, and right after that is the Four of Pentacles. So there's an obstacle that occurs again, and it has to deal with a more materialistic view. So money, it could have to, finances become an issue. So maybe you guys move in together, and it becomes, with the Judgment and the Hierophant, and it becomes a little more money relationship building. So now we went from emotional development to now materialism development. And materialism isn't a bad thing. Money isn't a bad thing. It's energy. But what it is joining accounts, splitting the bills. This is now this kind of causes stagnant energy, because now you're getting to know not only the emotional side, but you're now knowing the financial aspects of them, and they're knowing the financial aspects of you. Some of you may find out that they're cheap. Some of you may find out that they're frugal, and they hold on to all the money that they have because they've always had so little. Therefore, that's all they attract, is something very so little. That is the Four of Pentacles energy. Then you have the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands denotes success. It also denotes ego. And normally don't pinpoint the ego, but what I feel in this case is balancing of the ego and actually increasing it. And what I mean by that is improving the confidence that you have within yourself, or they have within you. Because this is Now we go, which is good, because now we go from a self-esteem, self-sabotage, to more of confidence, feeling healthy in your vulnerability, feeling stable, feeling like you can make anything happen, and feeling very successful in the relationship itself, and people are joining around you and celebrating. It's almost like some of you are being watched by friends, because this is a long-term relationship that longest one you've been in, or the most in-depth you've ever been in, and they're kind of watch to see how it goes. Some of you are introducing family into this relationship at this point. Some of you are now taking up to another level with this person if you weren't already. And so this is about developing that relationship in a more material, physical way. And so because you also have the 8 of Pentacles here, and what I feel is that you two are working on the relationship as it goes. It's been like an interesting year where you've had your ups and downs, but it's not it's weird because the downs aren't down in a negative way how you would normally respond to it. This new decade, I feel like it's a responding in a way that is mature and spiritually developing. My timer is going out, so I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. For some goofy reason, my videos were stored in the actual phone itself instead of my SD card. So now that that's fixed, shall we continue? So I feel like I said, this was developing in a mature way. Like when things are coming up, we're not just acting out of immaturity like we did in the past 10 years. We're now having a new evolutionary experience where we're acting out of grace and this sense of understanding and open and receptiveness to understanding what they have to clear out, because you've been there, and vice versa for them if they're having to help you out. And now when this obstacle approaches, like I said, this obstacle seems to be a little more now we're understanding the financial faults, the financial flaws, and the financial improvements that can happen, and that you guys work on that. And so, and both of you feel like some of you have a sense of career. Either you guys work together, you guys collaborate together, maybe have a business together, or you guys have the same career ideas. Perhaps like you work in the same different places with the same industry. And so that's what I'm also seeing here. I'm seeing cleansing. So this is a time that you start clearing out some of your emotional baggage is what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing they have a proposal. So some people, I feel like you're getting more so a proposal of, this could be, again, if you have moved in already, moving in together, could be taking them up to the next step. It could be an engagement, but I would feel like it wouldn't come at the way you would want it, honestly. It won't be like super romantic. Like they're not gonna be the one, in the middle of a concert proposing to you. It almost seems like an arrangement, like a discussion about marriage. So maybe that pops up. Maybe not necessarily a proposal, but one of you brings up the discussion of marriage and kind of clarity on what you want in life. Do you want kids? Do you not want kids? Where do you see yourself going in this career? Some of you are just very career based, and that's not negative, but more so you've been so focused on work this year that you want someone who also works in their abundance and their alignment just as well as you do. So if they're at a shitty ass job, and it's not to say that they are, but just more to say they have a job that they hate, that's not a good alignment. They need to get out of that. And let's say you're in a job you love, that's where that maturity comes into, like, discussion of where are you seeing yourself go then? Are you ending that job? Are you staying in that job? And that really determines where you go in this next level of relationship. So some of you, may agree to separate, to be honest. That towards the end of the year, you may agree that it's not emotionally satisfying for you. It's not that passionate drive. You may get into this relationship because you have another lesson to learn in this, which is great. And I'll tell you this, if you listen to this and you're like, well, now I don't want to go into this relationship because it's another lesson, guess what? That lesson comes around no matter what. And I'll tell you this, that lesson will come around when you least expect it. It could be the most passionate and fiery relationship, the best thing that you ever had. And then that's how the universe gets you. They give you what you want at first, and then here's your lessons. So you either take the lesson, identify in the beginning, you learn it faster, I'll tell you, or you kind of get tricked into it. It's funny. Universe is fun. Universe has a dark sense of humor, and I love it. So some of you will separate because it's just not that fiery. And let's say it goes okay for the entire year, but there's no spark. It just seems to be more physically convenient to be together. It feels financially convenient to be together. It feels like it doesn't have that drive that you want. That passion that you have for your own career, I feel, is not the same passion that you have in your relationship, and you want to change that. And so that becomes dissatisfaction and separation. But excuse me, money could separate you guys at this time. Money could be the one thing at the end of the year that's decided if this person's not going anywhere, or they have gambling addictions, or if they are just struggling constantly because they don't, and they refuse to better themselves. That's what causes separation. And it's not to say money is everything. It's a very good example of how you would stabilize yourself as an individual. It's something very important. I'm going to get 2 more cards for the end of the year here. Okay. And I'm going to pull that. Okay. So, some of you, this side. Yeah, some of you turn into a nice reflection towards the end of the year, because you have the 10 of Wands that came out with the 2 of Pentacles, and then underneath the deck was the Lovers and the 9 of Pentacles, or 9 of Cups, and what I pulled up top was the 9 of Swords and the Hermit. So what I feel is that there's this epiphany moment that is just like, it's not what I want. That's not what I want. Some of you meet a new person and it's emotionally exactly what you want, and you feel that connection, you feel that intimacy more stronger than you did with the original person. And so again, I could be talking to people who decided to stay in the relationship this year from till this coming year, and that's fine. We all make our choices, we all have free will, but guess what? You choose free will, or you can listen to the universe right away. You're going to learn the lesson either way. So that's, and I say, and the beautiful part is when I tell people you choose free will, it's not a bad thing. It just means you're going to take longer to learn the lesson. And the beauty, though, is you become stronger than you would have been if you learned the lesson in the first place. Do you see what I mean? So it's not always negative. I'll say, but in this case, what I feel is like there's a duality energy here. So there's definitely a choice between 2 people towards the end of the year. And there's no cheating or anything. I don't feel that, but I feel this sense of anxiety, and because you feel obligated to a relationship, and almost in the sense that you kind of victimize yourself in it because one's not really satisfactory, but yet you're falling for someone that you're not in a relationship with. And that's going to be you to balance out and have decisions to make, and you're going to have that epiphany. So, and then you're going to have decisions in the end to choose if you want something that's more emotionally fulfilling, or if you want to stay and work on this. Some of you, I feel, are cutting relationships, let's say, towards the end of the year. And you can save this video and wait till the end of the year to see that. Let's say some of you are cutting relationships, or one no longer serves you. Some of you are putting down the defenses finally. What I can see here is if you're not ending a relationship, some of you may actually, you may have had your defenses up all year. Like I said, we've seen an emotional defense in the beginning. We've seen a financial thing in the end, and what happens is all these things, these self-esteem build up, piles up, and you just let it down. You stop struggling with having those inner conflicts, self-sabotaging the demons, and you make the choice to choose love for yourself, and it ends up bringing you much closer to this person. And it makes the connection stronger. It makes it more freeing. It actually brings you that love and affection, that new beginning of what you actually want. So it's a very interesting year for the collective. It can always change. I will let you know that. And this may not be your reading. And no, you can't be like, I hope it's not my reading, because especially if you resonate with it, just gonna, something you just gotta accept. There's still some lessons to learn. It's a new decade. It's not just a new year. So, new decade means 10. All right, so we're gonna get some yearly love cards. Ooh. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. So, yep. And the outcome. One more, apparently. Release your ex. Some of you are releasing that toxic relationship this year. So it is safe for you to love. So it's a vulnerability chapter here that was obvious. So some of you have a vulnerability issue because you've been hurt before. And that is safe for you for love. It's to bring down those barriers. And like I said, some of you have this outcome where it's not an ending to a relationship, but it becomes the pivotal moment of all the faults and self-esteem and inner past conflicts coming at you with all these rods, and you just let it go finally. Instead of struggling with it and being indecisive and staying within your head, you let it go and you finally realize the person is there to love you, and you put the wands down and you reciprocate that love and be open to it. And when you become open to it, you have a stronger connection, a divine connection. Finances and career. Like I said, some of this is very monetary. Express your love. This is about both of you expressing. It's about that vulnerability. That's twice. Flirt. It's a very playful energy. Even though it goes up and down, it's still playful energy. Your love life is being affected by children. You guys may get a pet together this year. That could be very loving but troublesome. Children, both of you, either one of you could have children, or this is ending up from love, your first love pain. It's the first person you fell in love with, or it could be inner child trauma. Religious factor. Some of you may be spiritual. Some of them may be religious. And that causes conflicts. But it's not to say it's not impossible. And make the effort is in the end. In the end, there is an effort that is made, okay? And heart-to-heart conversations. And that's what builds that stronger bond. And you end up building something new at the end of the year. And that's something beautiful, and that is trust. Trust is what makes the relationship grow. It's what makes the relationship happen. Okay? And release your ex. Some of you are, holy crap, please clear out your heart chakra, please. But there's some of you that have to release a chapter. And for a lot of you, I feel this is that twin flame journey. You have to stop identifying it as one person and identify it as a journey as a whole. If you can't do that, congratulations, you'll be relearning this lesson again. So if you do that, you'll be learning a lesson, but in a more easier way than with a new person or with just yourself. So, okay, guys, this is your love reading for 2020. You'll have the option, I'll post it, if you do want this reading for yourself personally. It is 55, just like the 1 hour. It is a 1 hour, like a 55 minutes. And it is, you can do a yearly, or like for just general work and love, or you can do one specifically like this, specified around love. Okay? And as you see, money still came into this no matter what. But, all right, guys, comment, let me know if you like it, and let me know if the audio is better. I don't have my headphones on. Okay? So, let me know. Bye!